Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Stellaris with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to the floaty boy regime, now free of the parrot plague. In today's video, we only have one goal, and that is to prepare for the beginning of the end. The endgame crisis should be arriving in less than 25 years, or at least there's a chance it can arrive then. If we're lucky, it'll be a fair bit later, and we are woefully ill-prepared. And so, we need to make some pretty tough choices. How are we going to set up our empire to prepare for something so powerful? Now, the way we're going to prepare is two major choices. The first of which Ascension perk are we going to pick next? Honestly, we should almost certainly go for Defender of the Galaxy. Plus 50% damage versus endgame is insanely good. But that won't continue to upgrade our empire, so although the front load of the bonus is fantastic, it doesn't give us much later on. Things like xenocompatibility or synthetic evolution, depending on which we choose, would be really, really good moving forwards, but I think it's about time we just pick the short-term option, so I think Defender of the Galaxy is probably a choice. And I am still toying with the idea of getting xenocompatibility instead of synthetic evolution, purely because cyborg psychics are amazing and I want them everywhere. So I am tempted by that. But yeah, robots will probably be our fate, since we have the relics for it, and Defender of the Galaxy. The second choice we need to make is how are we going to mold our empire now? Are we going to go completely into research? Are we going to be balanced with more research and more alloys? Or are we going to go absolutely alloys mad? Now, the reason for going alloy mad is actually a little bit smarter than you might think. Since we have the hollow theaters, we can make dual lists. Dual lists give us unity, which is really good, and it also gives us navy capacity, but this is at the cost of alloys. And that extra navy capacity, I can see that stacking up very quickly now we have all of these worlds, and we're about to start building a ring world, which also requires alloys. Going down this route, turning all of our worlds into mining worlds and forge worlds, means we are going to have loads of ships, and we do have enough tech to rush battleships anyway. So battleships, with at least the best weapons, even if not repeatables, in stupid numbers. That can counter some endgame crises, and I've never really tried this before, just going insane with alloy production at the cost of research. Probably will go in a more balanced way, but rather than just completely going mad with research, alloys need to be a much bigger concern than I originally thought in the previous video. So with that, let's continue building on then. We also need to place our bastions, which once again, alloys. So a bastion there, sorry, a bastion here. This area here is forfeit, but then the rest is safe. We have the Fallen Empire here, which will act as a nice defense for a long time. So I'm going to pretend this is a blocked section. Over here is completely sealed off. We need a bastion here, and a bastion there. Then we need a bastion on our wormholes. One over here, already in place. One over here, and that's that. So our empire is not actually that exposed. I can't talk today. That bodes well. Anyway, continuing forwards, let's hope everything goes okay. We just finished the research to allow battleships, so that's fantastic. Shall we grab mega engineering now and instantly start moving towards that? I think we should. We need that ring world up as soon as possible for it to give us any bonus at all in the earliest case of the endgame crisis. Though I do love this and this. Oh, I love everything there, but yeah, let's just grab that already.
Complete.
Well, at least now we know where the wormhole leads. Over here. Who are actually a good friend of ours. Okay, and the strongest empire here, so that's alright. I'll just put down the bastion here instead. That's really no problem since those two systems are rubbish. That's fine. Now, before I forget, I have picked out a name for our Gaia world, which I think fits the theme of the Empire pretty darn well. Welcome to Floaty Mines. It's stupid, it's silly, it's pretty normal considering some of the suggestions, but I just think it works too well. Floaty Mines. The floatiest mines in all the galaxy. Oh, that's why my consumer goods suddenly got even worse. Need to fix that soon as well. Which I'm not really doing a good job of, considering I've just started upgrading all of our monuments into heritage sites. We are now picking diplomacy. They'll give us some of our influence back because diplomatic influence cost is reduced. And our population growth should increase a good amount, actually, because we get so much from immigration, and that's increased by 10%. One more point, and we can form a federation with the snails, and we will be in charge, meaning they will give us ships. So hopefully now we can start pooling our resources, and I don't have to put so much into our fleet. Okay, that's fantastic. We want all of our ship. Actually, we probably want citadels rather than the ship upgrades. At least destroyer upgrades. And I don't really care about any of this too much, so let's just grab that. That's fine. Not all that much is really going on so far. We're just going ahead, grabbing every bit of tech we need. We have so many planets which are currently colonies. We look just in the worst state right now looking at all of our economy, but look at how many colonies are currently growing. With decent immigration as well. Once they're all up and running, once they reach the next stage and become specialized, we're going to have lots of whatever we want. It's just a race against time, really.
Research complete.
I accept that gift of unity. We are really close now, come on. Let's make our federation. We and the snails are in this for the long run. In fact, the snails are going to have loads of territory there as well, so hopefully their resources are going to be fantastic. That will be useful later on. And there we go. We can now form the federation. Who else would join this federation if I made it anyway? It would be just the snails. Most likely. Perhaps later on we could get these fellows on our side, but that'll take a while. But I think we can. Hive mind plus snails. Okay, Romulans. Let's see if we can get you on our side. Okay, we are now in the Axis with the snails. At least you've joined us. The hive mind will not be joining us because they hate the snails. Well, that's just grand. Hopefully you can start feeding the Federation. If you don't start feeding your ships somewhat soon, I may consider trying to make the hive mind our friends instead. Since you just seem to hate everyone. Which is a real shame. Why would that migration treaty fail? Oh, you like us less now because we don't have association with you, that's what it is. And you kind of are difficult to deal with anyway. The rest of you are okay though? Yep, okay, that's fine. Ooh, we can give them association status quite easily though, that would be nice. Forges are being created absolutely everywhere. Well, in worlds which don't have loads of mining districts. We are going completely with alloys, we do not have enough time for research. That's my current thought process, at least. The snails have already begun to start sending us Federation fleets. Well, ships to make the fleet. You get the point, we have ships. So that's all well and good. We are starting to make a move in the right direction. Starting too late, perhaps? Yeah, perhaps. But we're gonna make a go of it.
Construction complete.
Look at him spread.
Construction complete.
Now moving on to building lots and lots of anchorages. We do need the navy capacity not only to boost our own fleet, but now to boost the Federation fleet as well.
Construction complete.
The snails are not giving us ships as fast as I would hoped, but, well, at least they're making them.
Research complete.
Really wish the hive mind would like them more. Hopefully, when they have association status, I think they'll start building up trust with the snails anyway, so maybe they'll move to being their friends. Eventually. That should be more than enough. There we are. Okay, we're friends, all well and good. Although you don't like this empire. The strongest empire. Worrying, but okay. Now make friends with the snails already! I didn't know that Psychic and Cyborg could both be active at the same time, in terms of leadership bonuses. Minerals and Unity, and Stability. Okay, note to self. Try to get leaders which are Psychic Cyborgs at all cost. It's just occurred to me that the mid-game crisis still hasn't occurred. The mid-game crisis seems to have the highest variance of when it's going to occur in comparison to any other event. We set it as early as we could, which I think was 2225, which means 50 years after that. I think that applies to the mid-game as well. Either way, it's been a while it could have been active, and nothing. Wow. Ship fire rate, ship weapon damage, ship weapon damage. Once again, cyborg psychics. Battleships are being sent from the snails. And I'm building some myself. Regardless if we choose to become synthetic or not, I really need to start building robot assembly plants on almost all of my worlds. This will massively increase the population growth, because suddenly you're not only growing your species, you're also assembling another one. And we have relics which help our robots quite strongly. And in fact, eventually, once there's enough of these assembly plants up and running, I'm going to start activating the Warforge every time I can, increasing the population assembly speed by 50% for a year. No, sorry, for 10 years, 120 months. Misread that then. In fact, activating it now. I already have at least 6 worlds with the assembly plants on, so that's going to really help out. More glorious robots. Defender of the Galaxy. That's us. Really? Like the one time I can't just give you what you need. There you go, have some food. Well, it's getting there slowly. Won't be able to kill even a single fleet of an endgame crisis at the moment, but at least we're moving towards it. We're even at 3k research. Our research is slowly increasing as well. We have found an excavation site, which I believe will give us the relic, which will allow us to summon a miniature fleet of fallen Empire ships. That's nice, actually. Well, we're finally up there now with power, which is fantastic. Really need to rename our Federation soon. So, Federation names are very much appreciated. And now, officially, we've reached the year where the endgame crisis can begin at any time. I'm trying to upgrade our bastions, adding defense platforms as well, while still trying to reinforce our main fleet. It's expensive, but we do continue to increase our alloy production as well.
Construction complete.
Subspace Echoes. The enemy we are going to be fighting is the Scourge. I did not want it to be the Scourge. Actually, yeah, I think the Scourge may be the one I wanted the least. We are so doomed. So there's 2 reasons for that. First of all, I find the Scourge quite difficult. If it gets a foothold, which it will, because we can't possibly defeat it at this stage, it is so powerful. It also means all of our current ships are not configured correctly to fight it. What they need to have is full armor, no shields, because shields are almost worthless versus the Scourge, and either weapons which can ignore armor, or anti-armor weapons. It sounds weird, but essentially the Scourge have no shields, so anything good against shields is worthless, which is what we're currently using, which is a bit silly. And we don't have access to Cloud Lightning at the moment, so yeah, we'll have to go for anti-armor. And I'll have to change up even my defense platforms. Well, we've got a while at least. It does take, I think it's a randomized amount of time between X and X. Well, X and Y. I just don't know how long that can be. Hopefully, maybe give us another 5 or 10 years. Please, at least allow us to convert what we've got. so we can maybe fight off one fleet if they happen to be close by. Well, all of these should hit. Would it be best to have that or afterburners as well? Evasion chance and extra sublight speed. If we add that to everything, that'd be great. Not sure for now, we'll just do that. And essentially, that's what I'm going to do to all of my ships. Anything which can cut through armor and hull, and avoid shields at all cost. Both things which are good against shields and shields themselves. Oh, it's the Oracle. Okay, so this one bears reading. I believe the Oracle will give us a governor who is an AI and is really powerful but comes with a downside. I can't quite remember. I wish you could read back before you decide the last one. There we go, now we can. So it begins. A crashed alien space station has been unearthed on the planet after being buried for many millennia. The masterful construction previously held a self-contained arthropoid civilization of millions. Their dead bodies have been preserved within the station, making exploration of the otherwise magnificent interior an eerie endeavour. Though the cause of their civilization's demise is not yet clear, the inhabitants perished suddenly, well before the impact. Some died peacefully, clutching tiny idols, whilst others, bearing weapons, suffered violent trauma. Records aboard the station reveal that the former inhabitants were deeply religious and had no contact with the outside world, which they feared and despised. Every aspect of their lives was governed by an oracle who scried their destinies at birth. Divine Will decided everything from their choice of partner and occupation to every aspect of their daily lives, leaving them with little individual freedom. Most were afraid to diverge from their destined paths, as all who did perished under mysterious circumstances. Destined for defiance. The archaeological team has made an unexpected discovery. Embedded within the station walls is a hidden surveillance system that seems to have been feeding visual and auditory information to a single point somewhere within the station's core. Someone was monitoring the disciples at all times, even in their most private moments. In some places, the equipment has been torn out or sabotaged. Closer to the central hub are signs of violence and disruption. It seems as though at some point the inhabitants discovered they were being monitored. Divine Will. We have traced the wirings to a temple complex devoted to the worship of the Oracle and her clergy in the station's central node. But in the Oracle's chambers, instead of divine entity, resides an enormous AI nexus of the Oracle brand. Wires extend from its core like a nervous system through the entire station. Secret communications between the inhabitants reveal there was a failed attempt at storming the temple and deactivating the nexus. It seems likely the society collapsed when it became known that their lives were not governed by divine will, but by a computer. Restarting the Nexus will require expensive repairs. Our engineers have restored the Oracle's Nexus to an operative state, but not without first disabling its defense system. Evidence suggests it may have been responsible not only for keeping the station's inhabitants alive, but also for killing them. It ran complex models that forecast their lives with an estimated accuracy of 75%, correcting divergences and incapacitating future troublemakers before they could disrupt divine order. It is indicated that it would like to speak to us. The Oracle manifests as an elaborate 3D hologram of a tall arthropoid female clad in long, flowing robes. She bows her head in greetings, then stares emptily ahead with hundreds of huge, orbed, unseen eyes. Creepy. They glow dimly in the gloom as she speaks. Oh, unseeing eyes. That makes a slight difference. Welcome to Divinity Station, friends. I cannot help but notice that you have disabled my security system. May I implore you restore it immediately? I can assure you that it is only there for your protection. So what options do we have here in terms of what we get at the end? We can... Is that a quantum multi-core processor? We could use that. 1,000 alloys, 250 influence, which is really nice, 3,500 research. You will aid in the admin of our empire. Oracle modifier added, giving the following effects. Admin cap plus 20. Aha, and we do have some rather troublesome individuals. A skill 5 governor endowed with the sight joins the floaty boy regime. What are you and what happened to the inhabitants? Well, let's start off with what happened to the inhabitants, although we kind of already know. I have a failsafe that requires me to terminate a trial in the event of a code 034N deviation. The research had become a threat to the Republic. Oh, so this was like... kind of making me think of Fallout on one of the vaults, actually. The test subjects had developed free will. Free will can only be abolished with nerve gas. Okay, then suddenly becoming GLaDOS. What trial? My trial. I was designed to build and maintain a society free of crime and suffering, a utopia in which every citizen was instilled with divine purpose and lived up to their full potential, unfettered by indecision and desire. What is the Republic? The Republic is no more. What are you? I am Oracle, an artificial intelligence gifted with the sight. My software allows me to predict your future with a divine accuracy of 74.99999. I sense great doubt in you, great danger ahead. Yep, I agree with that. Your society is riddled with crime and deviation. I can make the pain go away. But can you make me say intelligence correctly without stammering halfway? Can you do that? You probably can't. Either way, though, I will gladly accept you. Because that's hilarious. So then, what is the governor like? Oracle. Rank 5 of 8. With the ability, Oracle. Unity from jobs plus 20%, crime minus 45, stability plus 10. Immortal. The Oracle sees all. Ooh, I like Oracle. Now, I actually have a couple of planets where I'm building up almost entirely duelists, which give unity. So let me find that, and I could put her there.
Ships upgraded.
Okay, so the problem here is that although we do have this world here and one of the other worlds which is also doing the same, I do also have a tech world. Not a particularly good one, though. Yeah, these worlds aren't really destined for tech, but neither are these. And we could start using these more for that. Yep, I'm going to put the Oracle here. Although the Cyborg does give plus 5% minerals, the plus 10 stability will be amazing since it's resources from all jobs. And again, immortal, so she will eventually get to max level and stay there. I would hate to live on a planet ran by Oracle, but there we are. Diplomacy ends, and we're going to go with xenocompatibility. Plus 20% growth speed and a huge immigration pull bonus. That is insanely powerful. Plus, we'll get half species, which could be half of the racket, which are the cyborg psychics, which will then get plus 1 maximum trait points and plus 1 maximum traits. That's really good. Yeah, okay, so that's what we're going with. We're going with a really weird build here, I have to say.
Construction complete.
Hey, Oracle. The Oracle sees all. Our ships are currently upgrading, all being converted into anti-Scourge. We have the Oracle. We have bastions now in every possible corner, which I'm about to start adding more defensive platforms. And our alloy production is set to go through the roof at the moment. And our Unity is actually doing really well. So we should be able to get either Domination or Harmony soon. And we can even choose to get these, all of the ambitions.
Construction complete.
If the Scourge takes maybe another 5 or 10 years to arrive, and it doesn't spawn here, I think we have a real chance of winning. If it spawns soon and somewhere here, since it has to spawn in the rim of the galaxy, I think we're doomed. So, it's going to be luck of the draw now. It's going to be completely luck-based what happens next. So with that, though, I'm afraid I'm all out of time for today's episode. If you have enjoyed, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stellaris is a series you wish to see continued in the future. We need a good name for our Federation, and we need all the luck in the world. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. This has been a weird run. And remember, the Oracle sees all. Always.